Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Today, I'm gonna go a little philosophical one, so I got a good lesson for you. Little heads up, let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life lessons. That's what I teach. Life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. This ice cream is killing me. Excuse me. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to reach your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission for all my right thinkers to do just that. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to tune in, learn, get your lessons, implement them, and see it works for yourself so then you will know thyself. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. I love you. I'm here to do just that. Teach you. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to do just that. Wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Today, I'm going to ask the question, right thinkers, knowing yourself and knowing your mind, aka conscious self, is self mastery, aka knowing thyself. So it's a little long title, so I'm going to just shorten it up. Know thyself in the mind. How about that? So with that, let's go. I know that my mind, my conscious, aka conscious or free will, is mine. That's what was given to me. I have that because it was given. The spirit in me, of me, is of God. We are spiritual beings first with a mind. So you see there we go with that. Hope you can follow this lesson because I'm trying to tie two things together, get you hopefully a better understanding of how your mind works and how your mind and your heart, the spirit essence, should work together as one. Okay? When you have free will, which is myself, and my spirit, which is of God, my mind is mine. My spirit is of God. They tell you when the physical body dies, the physical body stays the earth. The spirit that's in the body leaves, goes, either it's going to go back home to its maker because it's on loan. All our spirits are on loan and they're all been used. Newsflash. Deja vu. Recollection, the spirit have memory lapse where it remembers something from his prior life. You said, "Oh, I've been there before." Yeah, it did that before. Oh, that's because the spirit has been here and it has memory. So if you don't enlighten yourself, if you don't wake yourself up, you don't connect your heart with your mind, aka heart mind coherence, you're going to be a reincarnated specimen. Your conscious will be wiped and you'll get to do it all over again conceptually. But let's move on. When right thinking philosophy is mastered, meaning when you brought your heart and mind together, your mind and your spirit acts what? As one in harmony. They work together. Why? For spiritually disciplined person, when they put their heart mind together, that's spiritual discipline in action. Why? Now you acting as one thought process, the heart and the mind working as one. Your mind also, your mind, aka the ego self, because we identify with ourself, that's the ego self, lower nature. When you raise your conscious level, you become aware of your higher self. Your lower self is just 5 basics: seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching. That's what the physical body is about. But that sixth sense, the extra ESP, extra sensory perception, is when you become aware of yourself. That's when the heart and mind comes together. The ancients knew that. They've been teaching it all kinds of ways. Everybody been taking bits and pieces of it. So understand that. Your mind, your mind, aka self, will work for your lower self, aka ego self, will what? Will work for the higher self when the ego has been conquered, proven who the boss over the ego self, or the heart self over the ego self. Why? Because you're thinking, I know, but the heart really knows. Truth lies in the heart. That's what God dwells in man. Free will and conscience is what man's used to find God for himself, which is inside himself. The best place you can hide something, what plain sight. God hide himself in man. It's man's job to find God within himself. He's not out there. Anybody who conscious, study, and understand that concept to make a difference what religion you profess. Thinking is mental. The mind. Right thinking is being what? God conscious, aware, awaken, knowing thyself through knowledge, understanding, learning the truths, and living them. That's how it's done. Simple. And everybody has an option. If we got 8 billion people, it's 8 billion ways to get to God. Simple. Okay? All ignorant mind, watch this. An ignorant mind, an unenlightened, uneducated mind is like having an empty gun or gun with no bullets. It's of no use to you at all. It can't do anything. But it's there. It's a gun. No bullets. It's just a piece of metal. Arm yourself. The bullets is knowledge. How about that? So moving on. I get that concept a while ago. Moving on. It's still relevant. Your mind is your lower self. They got a picture with a head on it. Haru and Set. They both occupy the same body. Who's going to run the show? That's the question. And if you don't put Set in place and check, so to speak, control that, he's going to run the show. You got to raise your conscious level to know that, no, I don't want my lower nature running nothing. Okay? Use it to your advantage. My mind has always been mine. Yeah, I was a thinker. I just didn't use it to my advantage, aka to better myself. I use it to make fast money and do things I thought I wanted to do. I was young and I was ignorant, and I did what the ignorant and the ego mind will have you do. Okay, something that you end up regretting. We all do. So if you let the ego run you, you're gonna have what they call fetters, and you're gonna have regrets because your actions are gonna get you in trouble. Trust me. Now, with spiritual truths, aka spiritual knowledge of self, my mind works with my spirit as one. Now I'm spiritually disciplined. That's what it's being awoke means. That's what being reaching Nihas, the highest level. All that means you learn your lessons and you perfected them by living them and manifest them for yourself. An enlightened mind, watch this, will manifest. We're made in God's image because when God uttered, let there be, uttered, when Tuh said, Tuh, he came into existence, that's the power we have to express what we think from the heart to the mind to the mouth. Okay? When you manifest whatever the higher self desires, and that's because the higher self only desires good. Lower nature take whatever it can get. An unenlightened mind, watch this, is filled with problems on a day-to-day basis, which is caused by you because of your ignorance of your higher self. When you're acting on your lower nature, you're going to do things and cause yourself problems, aka fetters. That's where that comes from. I eliminate the fetters because I act, do, and be the way I'm supposed to in accordance with my spirit, aka spiritual discipline. If it ain't in my spirit, if it ain't right, I'm not doing it. That don't mean I'm a religious fanatic. No, I ain't got time for that nonsense. My spirit, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I let my spirits, my conscience be my guide. When you awaken it, when you fill it with knowledge and understanding, it will do its job. Trust me. Right thing philosophy teaches you how to what? Raise your self-knowledge. By what? Defeating and conquering your lower self with knowledge, virtuous and righteous living, and good deeds and selfless service on a day-by-day basis. This one, your spirit, yourself, the essence, is your higher self. That's why I say, instead of saying God, people get, oh, God, God. If you say higher self, it resonates a little more. They can comprehend higher self. Oh, God, yeah. But if you say God, it tends to throw them off. So I like to use higher self. Same thing, just a little less dramatic about it. Your higher self, a.k.a. God. I want to make sure you know who your higher self is. Knowing thyself, become conscious of what your higher self is, what you become, which nihas. You know you and God are one. You know yourself. Trying to be cool. Our spirit self is God. We are spiritual beings. That means we're God in the flesh. Sound familiar? You can't give one human being the title of being God as a human being, and everybody else don't get their title. We all are gods in the flesh. Simple as that. It's up to every individual to figure that out for him or herself, but and he just won. That's all I'm saying. In the flesh. Knowing that and knowing thyself is enlightenment. Now you know. You don't have to believe. Our spirit self has to be known by what? Our mindful self, the ego self. And the ego will what? The ego will be doing, the ego will be doing the hardest work. Why? Once the ego, once set, realizes he can't have it his way, he's put into the working position and he'll be your best worker. Okay, he's the hardest worker. And the entropy concept, everybody on the boat or ride is hypnotized by Apophis. Set can't be hypnotized. He can't be deterred. He will not be swayed. That's the essence of your lower nature. And if it's put into position of work, it will serve you. You don't want it in a position of power. It's protect. Its job is to protect your higher self, which is Ra. On the boat, he's still fighting the prophets. Everybody else is like this or petrified. He don't give in. That's the fight that's in you. They use the dog illustration. It ain't the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. That's set. Whatever you let him be, he's a big dog. If you understand that to be what it is, and trust me, he will do his job. That's all he will do once you control and use him to your benefit. That's the concept. Let me get back on board. Sorry about that. But your ego mind wants to be in control. It thinks it's God. You got to put it in check, okay? If your ego If you're egoistic, watch this, you're living on your lower nature. And because you're successful in your endeavors in life, whatever it is you're doing, you think you discovered yourself. You think you know yourself. You don't have a clue, no nuts. So because you're successful, it's all good. But guess what comes with egoistic success? Destruction, aka self-destruction, because you're greedy, you're ignorant to what's really going on, but you're playing this game with everybody else who have got them thinking you are somebody who you really are. I know you better than you know yourself. And when you become God conscious, you see evil for what it is because the eye sees all. When I realized I was a spiritual being, I became spiritually enlightened to what? Myself. I know me. It's a beautiful thing. To think you know you or believe you know you is a waste of your time. And eventually that will come to light too for you and you'll oh maybe something. Yeah, you think? It's okay. I get that a lot too. Next one. Your mind and yourself will what? Become one with what? Spiritual knowledge that you can manifest by what? Practicing what you learn and putting it to effect so you have evidence And you're a witness to what you believe and what you know to be what it is through experience. Experience is the best teacher. When you experience God, can't nobody teach you or tell you about God. You know him for yourself. So the mind and the spirit together is a beautiful thing. Makes everything possible. I can do all things through what? Y'all say Christ. I say the spirit of God that's in me and having knowledge of myself. Those things together, you can achieve anything. They phrase it any way they want. It's still the same thing. Where we at? Okay, your mind and spirit together makes anything possible for you to manifest. That's being godlike. If your mind being ignorant of the higher self, you're unable to manifest or create like God. Why? Because you're ignorant. You can't get anything with ignorance. It's a gun with no bullets. Obtain knowledge, get you some bullets, now you got something. Okay? The idea of knowing thyself is, watch this, is your mind and heart, spirit becoming one, and now you become what? God conscious. Being God conscious meaning God is on your mind all the time. I don't let my ego remember is edging God out. If you're living on your egoistic ideas and selfishness, you got God out the way. It's all you. That's the difference in being spiritual and egoistic. Okay? Your ego, watch this, will keep you what? Ignorant of what? Your true, aka higher self. To know thyself, you have to obtain knowledge of self. The perfect combination is the spirit self and the mind conscious becoming one, knowing each other, having that marriage, that united, whatever you want to call it, how you want to put it. But I call it heart, mind coherence. When they work as one, that's a beautiful thing. Trust me. Last one, I'm about to wrap this up. Again, I appreciate it running a little long, but hope I got this little concept across. Enlightenment happens when the mind and your higher self work in harmony as one. That's called Maya balance. Okay? Self-discovery, knowing thyself. All those are just words to use to say the same thing the ancients had laid out a long time ago. So understand that. Let me wrap this up for you. Right thinking philosophy has a goal. It is to get all right thinkers to what? Know themselves. How? With knowledge of self, with knowledge of your higher self, give you God knowledge so you can be God conscious. Knowing God or believing in God is two different things. A spiritual enlightened being is when your actions and thoughts are in harmony with everything that you do. You put God in the mix. Is it good? Is it righteous? Is it for somebody else's benefit? Is it the right thing to do? All those are questions I ask before I make my action. So I'm getting better at reacting to situations because I'm taking my time and giving some thought before I act. When you put in your work daily, practicing a right thinking philosophy, you will get better and at being what? Your best self. That's what you're practicing every day, to be your best self. In every situation that comes along, you should look forward to handling yourself to show you are getting better and practicing being your best self by not doing the things that you used to do. When situations like this used to happen, you would automatically do this. Now you being a better person, you think twice and you act once. Thank you. You have to put in your work daily. Why? In order for right things philosophy to work for you, that's what you have to do. Because guess what? That's what I do. And I do it for you every day. No days off. I don't need a vacation. I love what I do for you. Let's go. Let me wrap this up and get up out of here. Right thinking philosophy goal of enlightening, inspiring, educating, and motivating will only work if what? You work it when daily. Like I do. I got more for you. I'll be back. I got to go.